Hello everyone, this is Psychedelic Dolphin and today I'm going to be teaching you how to convert your adult and child alpha hairstyles to be able to be used for toddlers. Um, Before we get started though, just a quick few notes. The first thing is, this seems fated to be my first YouTube video ever, so if it seems like I don't know what I'm doing in regards to YouTube, it's because I don't. Um, I'm planning basically to learn as I go. I hope you can hang with me through that, and if not, hey, it's cool. So, just basically, I apologize that there's a lack of quality. On the note of apologies, I am still kind of fighting a cold I've had for like the last month and a half, so if I sound a little bit congested or nasally throughout the tutorial, I do apologize. It is the cold. Um, the final note is that the reason I wanted to do this tutorial originally is because a lot of creators have left the community in the last year, and they will not be updating, or I imagine people have really quit, will not be updating their hairstyles for toddlers, or at least not publicly. So I want their creations to stay alive in the community. But if you are going to be using this tutorial to convert a hairstyle that is, from somebody who's still active in the community, who's still posting regularly, who's still working regularly, it would be the respectful thing to do, just to that creator, to not upload their creations without asking. Even if it is your own personal conversion, they are the person who made the mesh. Um, so it's just a respectful thing to do to ask them if you plan to upload it, to make sure that, that they're okay with it and that they weren't planning to do it themselves, because people uploading conversions and stuff can actually really step on people's toes. So just be polite and ask. Okay. Now that all that's out of the way, let's get to the tutorial. The things you're going to need are Blender 2.7 at a minimum and the Sims 4 Studio. Sims 4 Studio is currently in 3.11 Harmony at the time of recording this video. However, they have been updating like crazy since the toddler patch. They are super on top of things over there, so, check them out. You guys are awesome. Okay. To get started, there's kind of two ways you can really open up your custom content here. You can either drop it on your desktop, which is honestly the faster way, and go to My Projects and just find the file name. Or you can drop it into the Documents, Sims 4 Studio Mods folder, and open it through here, which is what I'm going to be doing just for the point of this tutorial. Normally I open it through My Projects though. But you're going to go and make sure the Create 3D Mesh is ticked, and then you're going to hit the CAS button. The hairstyle that I'm going to be using for the purpose of this tutorial is the Sims 123F hair. So I'm going to click this first one, shift click the last one. That's going to highlight all the colors. Even though I know their icons aren't loading, I promise they still work. Okay. I'm going to name my package Sims 123F. Okay, oops. Nice boob you there. The kind of first thing you're going to want to do, and I've already done this step because it takes a while, is export the mesh from the hairstyle via this green button right here. Like I said, this can take a while depending on how high the poly count is in your hair. This one has a decent amount of polys in it, so, it can take a while. Next, you're going to go over to texture. Now, this is kind of personal choice. You can either export all the textures at once, or you can export just one test texture. I tend to do a test texture first, because I've honestly just found that I don't like the way that some hairstyles look on toddlers, and if you export all of the textures and then import them into your test package and then you wind up hating the hair, that's a lot of additional effort for nothing, and some hairstyles come with a ridiculous amount of recolors. This one has on its own 22, but I have some hairstyles that have like somewhere between 50 to 70 recolors, so it can be a lot of effort if you decide you don't like the hair later. Okay, now that you've exported hopefully everything that you need, go over to File and hit Main Menu. You're going to go right back to pretty much exactly where you were last time with Create 3D Mesh ticked. You're going to hit CAS, except this time you're going to go over to Content, All, at least if you did it the way I'm doing this tutorial, and then you're going to set the age to toddler. Now, It's always been recommended to me that you use the hairstyle that is closest in shape and length to the hairstyle that you're converting. However, there's not a lot of options for toddlers right now, so I'm just going with this one because honestly it's the longest one, I think. I'm going to call this package toddler hair. Okay, so this is what we have. You're not going to export the texture from this mesh, however. What you're going to do is go over just to the mesh and export the mesh. Again, I've already done this step just to save time. So once you've done this, you're going to open up the hairstyle in Blender, which I already have. Okay. In case people who are looking at this are beginners and have no idea how to use Blender, I'm going to give you just a few quick notes. This bottom left here thing, which rotates as you rotate your camera, is telling you what axis you're looking at. This is going to come in handy later, so familiarize yourself with looking at this thing. If you don't know how to move your camera, because I actually answered a question like this not too recently, you're going to press down on your mouse's scroll wheel and just pull and drag. To zoom in and out, you're just going to scroll in and out with your mouse wheel. Okay. To actually get the hairstyle into this window, you're going to hit Shift F1. Now, oops, I did not clear this before I started. I'm so sorry. But hopefully you're going to have it open directly to the same folder as wherever you saved your toddler hair. Now, I'm going to click the May 123 blend. I'm going to go down to Object. And I'm going to click the first one. And I'm going to shift click every single mesh piece that starts with Sims 4 Studio. That's really important. Then you're going to go up here and hit Link Append from Library. Okay. Now you'll see the adult hair at the right height for an adult sim. Now that you have that in your Blender window, however, you're going to right click on the original hairstyle. Make sure you are in object mode and not edit or sculpt. You're going to hit X. You're going to hit delete. You're going to right click again and delete. And repeat this for all of the original EA mesh pieces. Currently, toddlers seem to have an issue with hairstyles that have more than 3 mesh pieces, or at least they did before the last version of Harmony. I'm not sure if they still do, but if you do have issues, try updating the latest version. Next, we're going to go over here to the right, and we're going to click the first piece and shift click the other 2 pieces to make sure that we are scaling and editing all of the pieces simultaneously. So I'm going to hit the S key, just drag it down. Try an eyeball to kind of see if it'll fit your toddler. Like, this looks like it might be a bit small. Okay. Next, I want to drop it down directly onto the toddler. I'm going to hit G. But before I do that, I'm going to take a look at this thing. See, this blue thing here is the Z axis. If you hit G, that's going to move it, but don't move your mouse, and hit Z twice. Now, you can move your mouse and drag it down directly on top of your toddler. At this point, I'm just kind of looking around, see if I like how it fits. I'm checking, from different angles. Kind of looks like maybe I could do with widening this mesh a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to hit S, and see the red axis at the bottom. It says X. I'm going to hit X twice. This will make it so that the hair can only move in width along the X axis. Once you're done, just click and it will stick right in place. Okay, this is looking pretty good. So I'm going to go up to File and hit Save. Next, I am going to go into the Sims 4 Studio, and I am going to import the mesh. While we wait for it to upload, I'm going to give you kind of a crash course in LODs. You are supposed to use a decimate filter via Blender to kind of shrink down the amount of detail that is in your hair meshes so that when you zoom out, it doesn't have as much detail. It does tend to make your game run better if you don't have a lot of high poly count hairs with, all HD LODs. However, I am very, very picky about details since my main gaming monitor is actually quite large. So I tend to leave my LODs with the same quality as LOD 0. What LOD stands for is level of detail, so when you zoom really far out, it drops the detail on a lot of stuff. I don't do these, but this is what you're supposed to do. I will try and find a tutorial to that later because I've already, set up this mesh. And again, it can take quite a while to import and export hairs with decent to high poly counts, and this one was a decently high poly count. I am also super wishing I knew how to edit videos right now because this is taking longer than I expected. So I do apologize. Yay, there it is. Okay, now that we have the hair, I mean, it doesn't look terrible just pulling the EA texture, but this doesn't look right either. Like, this is not what we're going for. So, we're going to go down here to the diffuse layer, and we're going to hit the blue button at the bottom that says import. We're going to open up that texture we exported earlier. Okay, now you see this. This is just sort of like another optional step. I guess not technically optional, depending on how you look at it. But I always go down to the shadow layer and click this purple button here at the bottom that says make blank. Because if you are using the shadow layer from a base game hair or, an expansion pack hair, the shadow shape is not going to fit the toddler face the way it should because you're converting a completely different hair. You can always remake these later if you want to. I actually prefer not having them, but it's totally personal choice. Okay. Moving on. To finish up here, you're going to go up to Tools. You're going to go to Modding. You're going to hit this one here that says Glass Shader CAS. And it's going to tell you that it changed all the shaders to Sim Glass. This will allow your hair to have that beautiful alpha transparency. Finally, you're going to hit save, and then you're going to drop the package into your Sims 4 mods folder. Pretty much where you put all your custom content if you're familiar with using custom content. Okay, now it's time to go see how it looks in game. So, I set up sort of like a base package already just to save time because my game takes a while to boot up because I have like 5 gigs of custom content. But this big green icon here is the hair I just converted. Now the mesh that I did earlier is actually probably wider than this one and kind of corrects the scalp issue here. But overall, I think this conversion is actually pretty good. It's not perfect. I would probably go back and maybe widen the hair a little bit. But overall, I think that this is pretty good. As you can see, I know explaining it out in like a 10-minute tutorial makes it seem like it takes a while, but most of the time when I'm converting these textures, it's like probably 2 or 3 minutes of effort. So, really, it's super easy to convert alpha hairstyles. I know that some people are probably hoping to get a tutorial on how to convert clay hairstyles. The reason I honestly probably won't do a tutorial on that particular type of hair is that I haven't had very good results with converting them myself. I mean, the basic method is the same, but the meshes are going to take a lot more effort to edit because adult and child and toddler Sims all have a face slash scalp ring that goes around the hair. And you basically have to cut that out meticulously to get the hair to look good, in my opinion. And I haven't really had a great amount of success doing that. And I don't tend to use clay hairstyles a lot in my personal game, so I honestly just probably won't make a tutorial on that. I do apologize. I hope somebody will soon. But this is kind of the end of the tutorial now. I don't know what else to really say. So, happy simming. I hope this helped like at least one person out there who was kind of hoping to convert some hairstyles of their own. I know there's not like a ton of hair out there right now. There's a decent amount though. So I hope that you help contribute to the creator community and have a happy day and happy simming. Bye.